What we know about Dr. Fauci pleading the fifth in Senate hearing on COVID origins. In a 3-hour Senate hearing this week, Dr. Anthony Fauci invoked his Fifth Amendment right not to incriminate himself, leaving many people confused about the issues raised. Republicans spent the session battering him with questions and allegations while he sat in silence. They cited thousands of pages of government records to hold him responsible for school closures and lockdowns, accused him of enriching himself as people died, and even mocked his interactions with celebrities. Most significantly, they accused him of funding research that led to the creation of the coronavirus that causes COVID and of lying about it under oath to Congress. They also threatened to hold him in contempt of Congress, arguing he was not eligible to invoke the Fifth Amendment because President Biden had granted him an unconditional pardon. Dr. Fauci was one of several high-profile figures Republicans vowed to pursue after President Trump won a second term in 2024. Stephen Bannon, a former Trump aide, had named Dr. Fauci as someone who should be prosecuted. On the last full day of his presidency, January 19, 2025, President Biden granted Dr. Fauci and others a preemptive pardon covering activities from 2014 through that day. Republicans argued at the hearing that Dr. Fauci cannot have it both ways by refusing to testify while under the pardon's protection. However, legal experts said the pardon did not cover Wednesday's hearing, and if Dr. Fauci made a single misstep he could expose himself to prosecution for lying under oath. So he took a better safe than sorry approach. The National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, which Dr. Fauci led for 38 years, did fund studies at the Wuhan Institute of Virology, a lab in the Chinese city where the pandemic virus started spreading. But so far there is no evidence that those studies set off the pandemic. Dr. Fauci's institute faced heavy criticism in 2023 from a federal watchdog agency about errors in its oversight of that grant, reinforcing concerns about the federal government's system for monitoring research with potentially risky pathogens. Federal health officials have shown that the viruses being examined in those experiments were not closely related to the pandemic virus. That is what we know so far. Thanks for listening.